My name is Kyle. I'm a landscape photographer. In the fall of 2023, I bought a high-end drone to get some aerial shots of the harvest. I never posted the footage from that night. I turned it over to the county sheriff. It was around 10 p.m. I lived on a property that backed up to hundreds of acres of cornfields. The corn was tall, ready for harvest. I was standing on my back porch testing out the night vision mode on my new drone. I flew it up about 200 feet and sent it out over the fields. On the screen, the corn looked like a gray ocean. It was mesmerizing. I flew it about a half-mile out, just cruising. Then I saw a heat signature. My drone had a thermal overlay setting. It picked up a bright orange blob in the middle of the gray field. I figured it was a deer or a coyote. I lowered the altitude to get a better look. I hovered about 30 feet above the ground and switched back to the regular spotlight camera. The beam of light hit the ground. It wasn't a deer. It was a man. He was in the middle of a clearing in the corn, miles from the nearest road. He was digging. He had a shovel and he was furiously throwing dirt out of a hole. Next to the hole was a large black plastic bag. It was the size of a person. My hands started shaking on the controller. I knew I should pull back, but I was frozen. I watched him for a few seconds. Then the noise of the drone gave me away. The man stopped digging. He slowly looked up. The spotlight hit his face. He was pale, gaunt, and his eyes looked black in the harsh light. He didn't look confused. He looked furious. He raised the shovel and pointed it directly at the drone. Then he did something that made my stomach drop. He didn't run away. He started running toward the drone. I panicked. I pushed the joystick forward to gain altitude, but I made a mistake. In my panic, I hit the return to home button. The drone autopilot took over. It spun around and started flying a straight line back to its launch point. Back to me. The man on the screen stopped running. He watched the drone turn. He saw the direction it was heading. He knew exactly where the pilot was standing. He dropped the shovel and started sprinting through the corn rows, following the drone's path. "No, no, no!" I yelled. I tried to cancel the command, to veer the drone off course so he wouldn't find me, but the software locked up. I watched the screen in horror. The drone was flying at 30 miles per hour. The man was running through the corn below, keeping pace, tearing through the stalks like a wild animal. The distance counter on the screen ticked down. 2,000 feet, 1,500 feet, 1,000 feet. He was coming straight for my house. I dropped the controller on the porch table. I didn't wait for the drone to land. I ran inside and locked the sliding glass door. I locked the front door. I turned off all the lights in the house. I ran to the upstairs bedroom window that overlooked the backyard. I saw the drone descend and land gently on the grass in the backyard, its lights blinking happily. A few seconds later, the corn stalks at the edge of my yard exploded outward. The man burst into the yard. He was panting, covered in dirt. He looked around wildly. He saw the drone sitting on the grass. He walked over to it and stomped on it. Then he looked at the house. He couldn't see me in the dark window, but he knew I was there. He walked up to the back porch. I heard his heavy boots on the wooden steps. Thump, thump, thump. He stopped at the sliding glass door. He pressed his face against the glass, just like the man in the fire tower story. He cupped his hands around his eyes. I was hiding under the bed upstairs, dialing 911. "He's on my porch," I whispered. "He's trying to get in." I heard the door handle rattle. It was locked. Then I heard a loud crash. He had thrown a patio chair through the glass. The alarm went off. That saved my life. The sudden noise spooked him. I heard him scream in frustration, and then footsteps running back off the porch. By the time the police arrived, he was gone. They went into the cornfield. They found the hole. They found the shovel. But the black bag was gone.
He had come back for it before he disappeared. They managed to recover the SD card from the smashed drone. The footage of the man looking up at the camera was crystal clear. It turns out he was a wanted fugitive from 3 states over. He had been hiding out in the abandoned farm properties in the area. The bag? Police suspect it was the remains of a hiker who went missing a week prior, but they never found the body. I moved to the city a month later. I sold my cameras, and I learned a valuable lesson. When you spy on the dark, sometimes the dark follows you home.